Good afternoon. Today is the 15th of January, and I'd like to talk to you today about Sat-nav systems. So satellite navigation for automotive applications has been around since the late 1980s, and even earlier systems before that used electronic signals and tapes and all kinds of things to create a way of finding a way around a certain place. And that it's not a manufacturer that offers cars on a British market, but doesn't offer sat-nav as at least an option. The Dacia Sandero, which is Britain's cheapest car, offers an optional sat-nav on its Laureate trim with a top trim level. And of course, going up to something like a Rolls-Royce Cullinan, which is hundreds of thousands of pounds, of course, sat-nav is standard. So sat-nav is a very useful thing to have, and in modern traffic conditions, particularly if you live in a city or if you live near major roads, it's pretty much indispensable because traffic seems to be getting worse and worse. There are more and more cars added to the total in this country every day. It's probably about 27 million now. So you're inevitably going to want to run into jams, and also if you do a lot of driving, you're not going to want to have to think too much about fiddling with maps and relying too much on road signs as we used to do in the days before sat-nav, certainly when I used to learn to drive in 2001. So having a reliable sat-nav is absolutely crucial for modern motoring, I would say, unless you just make a lot of very short journeys in a local area and you're very familiar with the time of day when the roads tend to get clogged up. So why am I talking about this now? The reason is that one of my friends recently bought an Audi, which has a similar sat-nav unit to the one I've got in my Seat Toledo. And she commutes to work in central London from the border of Surrey every day. And she found out after about a week that the sat-nav information she was getting from her commute, which is about an hour and a quarter in rush hour, just wasn't accurate enough, and her iPhone using Google Maps was a lot better in terms of telling her the best route to go at that time of day. So you would have thought that if you pay all this money for a sat-nav system, and that Audi was, probably the best part of £30,000, it's a brand new car, that you'd at least get a better system in your car than on a phone. But this isn't really true. I once went to a Toyota dealership with a client. We were looking at a Seat very similar to mine at the time, but he also said that Toyota sat-navs weren't very good, and certainly using this particular system, this Volkswagen system that's fitted to Seats, Skodas, Audis and Volkswagens in various forms, I don't find it very accurate in terms of traffic information. And also, if a road has been built since the sat-nav information was updated before put into your car when it was manufactured, the road just won't appear. Now you can get say a 2019 upgrade for the sat-nav system, but it means you've got to go to your dealer and that you've got to pay to have a new memory card put into the sat-nav, and that can be hundreds of pounds. Some manufacturers offer over-the-air updates for sat-navs, but really, when Google Maps automatically updates, or Waze is a very popular app, why would you want to use anything else if just will be missing roads out, or you'll get into jams because the traffic information is not accurate enough? So what you really want to do is look for a car that has Android Auto or Apple Carplay, sometimes known as full link or mirror link. Now, I do have this to this car, but the system's disabled, and I would have had to pay like £200 to have this on, which I think is a bit stingy. Thank you, Seat, or Theat as I might say. And actually, some cars that come these days don't even bother putting a sat-nav unit in because they kind of know that people like to use their own. The Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross, you can't get sat-nav on any trim at all. Now, this is a car that costs £25,000 or more, but of course, out of every trim, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto is standard. Similarly with the Kia Ceed, the bottom range car doesn't get a sat-nav, but it does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And that is as good as really using a built-in sat-nav. The only possible exception I'd say to that is if you have a TomTom system that's fitted to some SsangYong models, or some Renault models, then they tend to have quite accurate traffic information. Also, the one fitted to my mother's Mercedes-Benz, which is a 2017 model, it's called a command system in that. That seems to be quite accurate as traffic information. But generally, a lot of the lower end ones certainly just aren't worth having. And it's just worth looking definitely for Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. But I wouldn't recommend going out of your way to get Sat-nav fitted on a normal car. So that's my video about Sat-nav systems. I hope that was useful for some of you. Please, if you like this video, don't forget to share it, to subscribe to the Lloyd Vehicle Consulting YouTube channel, and visit my website and my Facebook page, facebook.com/Lloyd Vehicle Consulting, or www.lloydvehicleconsulting.co.uk. If you wish for me to source a car for you, I'm very happy to do that, whether it has a sat nav or not. Thank you very much indeed for watching.